I might let Who Let the Dogs Out above Monster Mash, honestly.
Of course you would. Greetings and welcome to Old Drunken Discography, where old friends and fans come together to BS, argue, occasionally agree, and discuss musical artists. I'm your host, Jason. Your other host is Tim.
Hey, how's it going?
Your other host is Bill.
There's context to that.
There's no context.
There's context.
Your special guest host is Trey.
Cheers, slap Bill.
Sign up for our YouTube membership so you can get that slap button and leave a slap down below for Bill. Do a Chihuahua slap. Chihuahua slap. All right, today we're talking. Well, first we're going to talk about some fucking animals should not try to act like people. We're talking Primus. Surely you've been following
it's been a couple
along.
years. This was a pretty big release, even though it's not the primary focus of tonight's episode. We should definitely talk about it first.
It's a notable release,
Yeah.
I would say.
So, the last album came out in '99, and after that, things kind of fell apart. Les started doing a whole bunch of other side projects. And Brain was included in some of them, but he wasn't included in others. And then at some point, Herb shows back up. So it's like, you got to get Herb back in the band. And that's what led to this. They got Herb back in the band. They put out an EP and the big tour, which was the first time I got to see Primus. The big tour. The first leg was they did Sailing the Seas of Cheese in its entirety. And then the second leg is they did Frizzle Fry in its entirety. But they were doing two sets. Like, they'd do that album and then they'd come out and do another set just full of hits and awesomeness. And it was an amazing tour. So I ran out and I bought this on CD. This is one I'm going to highly recommend everybody go find on CD. It came with a DVD of all their music videos, some old live stuff, like backstage stuff, just an amazing home video release of all their great videos. And then, this EP is awesome. It's moody, it's kind of tribal. It was really fun having Herb back, especially after, we mentioned how staccato Brain would play. And that really kind of played into the sound that Primus kind of evolved into. And then Herb comes back and goes much more back to a lot more tom rolls and weird time signatures and the Carpenter and the Dainty Bride. What a start to a release. It's moody, it's epic. It's right off the bat. It's super strong. The Pilcher Squad, it's all about the dude from I Am the Walrus. Sergeant Pilcher was a real dude, was going around arresting George Harrison and Keith Richards. And it's just a fun song about that wonderful time in music history. Mary the Ice Cube, it's a weird one, but it will get stuck in your head. And it's a really good song. The bass line is just, it's Primus. I know it's kind of silly to even say it, but that's a highlight bass line right there. And then maybe my favorite song, it would be the last Super Power, also known as Rapscallion. Super funky. It's just, it's heavy. It's a great Primus song. Possibly my favorite on this release. Because, it does close with My Friend Fats, which is just a sinister track. That's a dark song, but it's also got that super fuzzy, bootsy bass kicking that just sends it into outer space. I love My Friend Fats. Highly recommend this release.
I'll follow that up. Again, I'd like to say I hope everyone did their homework this week. Tim did not disappoint. The Carpenter, this felt like older Primus. This is good shit. Pilcher Squad, I love the vocal melody. It reminds me of South Park. The guitar is super fun. Mary, it's slow and weird, but it's worth a fucking listen. The Last Superpower, I got blood in my gas tank, bones in my steel. I eat California Condor for my Thanksgiving meal. That's a fucking top song contender. My Firm Fats, again, classic fucking Primus. These EPs are so fucking strong. This one is like
Yeah.
up there with Miscellaneous Debris.
Yeah. All of these notable releases are very notable.
Yes. Yes.
Carpenter, it's a murder ballad. I love me murder ballads, and the guitar at the end is just so nasty and good.
You love those murder ballads that involve water too.
Yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yep. Richard Marx Hazard, greatest ever. Um, Filter Squad,
What
this
the puffed mullet?
yeah, oh hell yeah. Pilcher Squad, I think it really shows why Les is a great songwriter because it's a very short song, but it's such an interesting story, and the fact it's true just makes it that much better.
Yeah,
Uh,
John Lennon sung about it in I Am the Walrus.
yeah.
We'll get to the
Uh,
Beatles.
Marry the Ice Cube, it's fucking weird, but I love it. Um, it's got I guess he's using a wah wah on his bass in that song that it just really adds a different.
See, and it sounds like to me as he's doubling it with the bow on the double bass.
Okay.
So maybe he's on a fretless. Maybe I mean it sounds like a couple tracks mixed in together, but
Yeah, there's something going on there I really like. Rapscallion's great. And my only comment for my friend Fats, which could apply to this whole EP, is goddamn, that's some good Primus. Because honestly, I'm glad we're not ranking this because it would be number one with a bullet for me. I really, really like this whole thing.
yeah, this one definitely got me back on the Primus train hard back in the day. I saw the tour that they did Sailing the Seas of Cheese. And then yeah, the second half they played Southbound Pachyderm and uh you know, oh God, Mr. Crinkle. They did Mr. Crinkle. I was like, oh yeah, here we go.
Bill, did you listen to this one?
Yes, I did. For the first time in a little bit, I did the extra
You
credit.
did some. You did your homework. Not extra credit, just homework.
Yeah, you're right.
It
If only
didn't
I could do the
disappoint,
extra.
all right.
If
It
only
didn't.
I could do extra credit to make up for all the homework I miss.
We'll get there.
Got to
But
watch a
no,
home like a video at that point, or
well, no, I gotta watch Requiem for the Dream. Anyways,
you got to watch a video. Yeah, exactly.
We'll get to that.
um, I'm gonna say this. Tim kind of hit on the head with a lot of what he was saying about this one. And actually, I lined up pretty much word for word almost. Rapscallion for me is more than the best song on this album. That is by far a top song contender. I mean,
God damn it.
that song could have been on fucking Pork Soda, and it would have fit right in and been potentially a highlight even on that album for me.
I mean, it kind of feels like going without saying that every song at this point could be on the top songs. Like they're all
Yeah.
just such solid contenders.
I mean, probably like Rapscallion for me, it stood head and shoulders above the other ones on this album. I mean, they were
Right.
all good songs,
Yeah.
don't get me wrong. This album did not disappoint for me listening to it.
Well, and that's going to lead us into then, I guess, the main event here.
Yep.
Shall we?
The album on the thumbnail.
I finally have one to show off for this discography. Yeah, so I definitely got back on board with Animals. And, once this comes out in 2011, that's actually like there were no albums for an entire decade, thus making Animals that much more notable. And of course, Herb came back for Animals, but he's gone for this one. This one, they bring back a name we didn't talk about, but he's been in the band. He was actually replaced by Tim Alexander the first time. We got Jay Lane coming back. I believe Trey actually mentioned the Sausage Project last week. Jay's part of that. And yeah, this was a big deal that even Jason mentioned it last week too. Like he remembers this one because it was a big deal because it was. This is the first album in over a decade.
I don't remember the EP coming out, but I remember this coming out and downloading it and checking it out.
Okay, yeah, yeah. See, and I got in back in on the EP, so I was ready for this one. And it doesn't disappoint. Um, Prelude to a Crawl is an intro. It's just another quick little ditty musical build up that leads right into the Henna Pie Crawler, which is just classic Primus. Like right out the gate, they're bringing it back. Jay Lane, it brings these great technical drums that you could tell influenced what Herb was bringing into the band. But it's also this is a special album for the drums, just right off the bat, like throughout. Um, the Last Salmon Man, that's a classic. It's so good, it's even going to close out the album. Um, yeah, and then we got a top song contender with Eternal Consumption Engine. That is super funky. It could be a Tom Waits song. It could be a Mr. Bungle song. But it is a Primus song. I love it. Tragedies are coming. I think that's a banger. If I remember correctly, that was the first single too. Um, and yeah, that's a catchy ass song. Eyes of the Squirrel, much like the Greet the Sacred Cow off the last one. I think that Eyes of the Squirrel is one of those like just super funky jams that takes you to a place you're not necessarily sure you want to go, and you're not necessarily sure you want to do what's there, but once you're
Yeah,
there and it's been done, you're really happy you went. And then we actually kind of start getting into what I think are the highlights where this album really starts peaking. Julie's on Smack, super weird. It's sad and moody, but it moves in such a way that feels joyous in a way. I don't know. I like Julie's on Smack. Lee Van Cleef. I mean, you can't go wrong. For anybody who doesn't know who Lee Van Cleef is, well, I guess Les is here telling you in 2011 to go find out, and you should. He's not wrong because that is going to lead us into maybe the highlight of the album, "Strong Contender" and "More on TV." Uh, love that song. But we are getting towards the end of the album, and so that's going to follow up with Green Ranger. It's short. It's okay. It maybe the low point on the album for me. It just kind of goes by. Especially and maybe its only crime is that it's between More on TV and Hoeing for the Man, because that is the top song contender. I love that. It is definitely a juicy burger, and
I'm going
yeah,
after
and
you.
and then Extinction Burst is just, it's a possible top song too. It's just one of those Primus songs that could be on any album at any point. It's just a jam. And then I guess the official closer is, yeah, they do reprise The Last Salmon Man, but the way they do it is it's calming and kind of ends the whole album as a whole. Yeah, here we are with a comeback album after 12 years, and they haven't lost a step.
All right, all right, all right, all right. Prelude to a Crawl. Well, that was a prelude to a crawl. Hennepin Crawler, not a fucking crawler. It's upbeat, it's funky. You get to touch that pie in the sky. Last Salmon, it's not bad, but it's probably my least favorite of the Fisherman Chronicles. Eternal, it's fine. It's really repetitive though. Not one I would listen to on every spin of the album, but sometimes I wouldn't skip it. This one's like a moderation for me. Tragedies are coming. It's fun. It's serviceable. Eyes of the Squirrel, again, it's fine. It's another very repetitive song that overstays its welcome. The lyrics, though, are fucking fantastic. Jilly's on Smack. It doesn't really go anywhere. Another one with fantastic lyrics, but musically, it's just not serviceable for me. So far, this album is very much like Tales from the Punch Bowl. There's a lack of energy. Besides Hennepin, it's very like kind of. I don't know when the A side B side swaps. I'm assuming it's track 8.
So I've got the double album. This is the 45 pressing. So I got 2 discs. So it's 3 tracks on every side except side 4, which is the last 4 songs.
Okay. Well, track 8 this is
Lee Van Cleef.
definitely the best song on the album since Hennepin. All right, more on TV. It's this weird spacey thing going on in parts. The guitar is sharp in the right places and spacey in the other right places. This one was a lot of fun. Green Ranger, this song fucked me up because I could only think of the Power Rangers. But then the actual lyrics started. I don't know. This one just fucked me up. Some weird stand-up bass or a cello or something going on. Hoi Fo Denamen. My notes
Hoeing for the man.
My notes just say "Let's Go." Favorite on the album. Extinction Burst. It takes a bit to get going, but this one actually does go places. This is another top song. Salmon Men. On Primus principle alone, this may be the best closing track in the discography.
Ooh, yeah. Coattails of a Dead Man, though?
Just on Primus
Is the
principle
Coattails
alone.
good?
Spotify did jump to fucking Kaisis NO afterwards. I was not impressed, but we'll get there. This is a
New
weird.
Queens of the Stone Age album coming out here in a couple weeks. Live video.
Yeah, we're gonna cover that. This is a weird album, and I wish. I think the A side is meh, and the B side is super fucking strong. Like once you get to track 8, there's no let up after track 8.
I definitely think the side B and we're C through D. Yeah, back half is definitely better on this album. I agree with that.
So I definitely want to follow Jason up on that one. As I feel like if there was ever an album for us to go back and forth, it would have been this one.
Damn.
Should have called it.
I know I should have. When you got to track 2, I should have said hey, yo, we're going back and forth. That's my bad. For Prelude to a Crawl, my notes are: do I say it's a pointless intro, or do I just call it the worst intro song so far? Just because for me, so then we got to Hennepin Crawler, track 2. So I immediately thought of Hennepin County, Minnesota. I went to college in Twin Cities. And I can honestly say, based on what the lyrics say, is a very accurate representation of Hennepin County, Minnesota, through and through in that song.
Okay.
For reference, I was in Ramsey County where I went to college, which is right next door to Hennepin County, it's a trip. That's all I want to say.
Welcome to Primus, right?
Yeah. Last Salmon Man. So the when it came up for me, it didn't say that was the part of the Fisherman's Chronicles Part 4. I would say this
it's not the official, but it is the unofficial. Yeah.
Okay. So I mean, I would say with that, I would say it would be the weakest of the 4 Fisherman's Chronicles for myself personally. It's not bad so far. It's
So we'd agree there at least.
yep. So far I concluded how so far off this album that the vocals kind of take a back seat for this album. Um, I'm not sure how I feel about that. Just because for me it was hard listening to the vocals and having them try and come through. Like I had to actually pull up lyrics just to try and make sure I understood what the vocals were saying lyrically in this album. Just because I couldn't listen to the vocals as it was going. It's like
I
between
mean,
the
it's a pretty
guitar.
political album, honestly.
Oh yeah. Well, and that's that was interesting but that's what hurt me out. I'm not sure if it was production wise or whatnot. Just the guitar felt really turned up for this album, and that's a very pretty vinyl.
Yeah, it
Um,
is.
Yeah, I agree. The guitars. This is a guitar driven.
and I don't, when I'm listening to Primus and everything we've gotten so far, yes, don't be said go back to Frizzle Fry, where I'm like, oh, I really like the bass of this band. Um, like I'm not here to listen to the guitar in Primus.
You should
Oh,
be though.
you should be
You
though.
should be.
Yeah,
Lure does some fucking good shit.
yeah. The
He
bass is
he well,
overwhelming, but that is
he does, but he doesn't like. The thing is, the guitar takes such a front row seat in this album. It's like, okay, cool, but I want the other stuff. I don't want to get
okay.
demonetized, so I won't make the reference I usually make for stuff. Um,
Well, see, and I listen to Primus not for the bass, but for the drums. And so for me, this one really doesn't disappoint. And I enjoy the guitar and the bass and the vocals and all that good stuff. And they got like piano in spots here. Like it's a pretty adventurous, interesting album. Um, but yeah,
well, I mean, my notes for track 4, kind of following off of what I said before for the Eternal Consumption Engine. The instruments are on fire, but I can't make out the main vocals for shit. Like
okay.
the instruments are firing on all cylinders. I love it, but it's like I can't. I hear the vocals, but I can't tell what any of the vocals are saying.
Well,
Um, then
Primus.
we get the but then we get the tragedies of coming. Now I got a quick question for you, Tim.
Sure.
Is this song just about cooking a goddamn lobster?
You know, um,
As if so, this is the
let
fucking
me
best song
relook
in
at
their
the lyrics here real
discography.
quick. I could see that. I could see that. Yeah.
If it is, this is the best song in the discography and best song I've heard since Red
I
Lobster
mean,
is
Shake
declared
Hands
Chapter
with Beef
11.
is about,
Like,
giving hamburgers to children.
if it's not fine, but like, I'm just envisioning. Granted, obviously, I do YouTube playlists. So first time, 2 times through, I just listened to the song. Third time through, I actually caught the music video. Is this guy's just fucking dancing in a lobster costume the
I
entire
can
video?
I I I applaud and respect your interpretation. I still think that song is open to interpretation, so I can't say definitively you're right, but I definitely enjoyed that.
It's definitely an interesting concept. It's something to
Yeah,
think
I like
about.
that. That is
And
good.
that's what's awesome about music or any art form. When it makes you think, that's when you know it's a good artistic form. Which
Absolutely.
is said, as I just said, if it is about cooking a lobster, top song contender, that's number one, no questions asked.
And you did
I
say
don't
that
think
was a
anybody's
single,
putting
right,
it
Tim?
past.
You said that
The
was the
what's that?
first. That was the first single, right? Tragedies are coming.
I believe, if I remember correctly, yeah, it was. And it was the one that came out before the album, and then Last Salmon Man came out after the album. But maybe I have that flipped.
Okay, well,
Okay.
that's just
It's
something
been,
to
it's
keep
been
in mind
almost
when we get to
15
top
years.
songs.
This album is 14 years old now.
So this thing, after tragedies are coming, then we get Eyes of the Squirrel. Which for me, coming after tragedy, the song kind of felt like a disappointment. Just because it felt like we were going in such a great I'm like, okay, we got eyes on the squirrel. I want to hear some sort of music where like a squirrel standing in the middle of the road, the car's coming, and The squirrel doesn't know which way to go. Does it go to the right? Does it go to the left? Does it go towards the car? Does it go away from the car? Does it stay put? Like, what does it do? It's like it does. I don't have that energy when I'm listening to it.
I 100% agree because you got a Primus song called Eyes of the Squirrel. You expect, maybe the expectations were too high. Maybe that was the problem.
That
Or maybe the
absolutely could be
title's just
true.
too good.
The title's
I mean,
that's a really good title.
like,
Yeah.
well, that's it. That's it. When I look at that title for Prime, it's like, oh my god, I'm standing in the middle of the road and I don't know where the fuck I'm. Like, there's a car there. Like, oh, do I hit the car? No, I don't hit the car. No, I'll go to the side. No, I go to that side. No,
I
like,
had the same issue with Jilly's on Smack. That's a good song title.
well, so that's my notes for Jilly's on Smack is it's all right. Um, I really wasn't sure about it. I think that one is the one on this album that I need more time to listen to just dissect some. Um, say I kind of alluded to it with tragedies that come, and this one I listened to 3 different times, and I think you know, go back and watch our Brown album. That one I definitely need a lot more time to listen to. Like some of
It
these
gets
songs, you
better
do
every
need
time.
a lot more
Yeah.
time to just digest and like figure out what's going on in it.
'Tis the nature of the beast of the show.
Next one we
Yes.
get Levon Cleef. I thought it was a really cool mix. Wasn't anything super different from what they'd done, but like the whole like country mix that they were doing with it, I thought was really cool and interesting. More on TV was a solid song, a little repetitive, especially at the end. But then again, it's called More on TV. I feel like it's in the title at that point. Um, Green Ranger, 100% got Power Rangers reference, same as you did, Jason. Which for me resulted in it just kind of happening. Just because, again, I feel like you mentioned it kind of on the with the Eyes of the Squirrel. The expectation is so high at this point. When it falls short of that expectations, like, okay, yeah, it was good, but like I wanted, I don't know, the fucking Green or Black Ranger to come out of nowhere and just say, you guys, like Power Rangers transform into dinosaur mode. I don't know.
And the Green Ranger was Jason.
Um, and then we get Hohen Photo Man. So again, this one initially listened to 2 times, just the lyrics outright and just the music. Third time I got the full music video,
Oh, that's right.
which
Yeah.
made it make so much more sense. Because it's about it's a song in 2011 about selling out is really
Okay,
what it
so
is.
your song is wondering if tragedies are coming about boiling some lobster, right?
Yeah.
I wonder, is this 2011 Les Claypool's song about Green Day?
Green Day or the other one, Grant, I cheated a little bit, looked at the comics, fucking James Hetfield. Like any band that's existed from there, like who's
Yeah,
maintained some level of popularity in the
yeah.
21st century. And when I say maintained, I mean just like achieved that Billboard Top 40
Oh
status,
yeah,
as you've
yeah.
talked
No,
about.
they're definitely become that cog in the machine that like has to keep rolling.
Anything
Yeah,
Green Day
And
is guilty
interestingly
of,
enough,
Metallica is guilty of as well.
yeah.
And the Foo
and
Fighters
It's
the
and Chili
biggest
Peppers.
thing Primus ever did was the theme song to South Park.
Which
which is
obviously
And
people
yet
don't even
that
fucking know
seems
it's
like that makes
Primus.
yeah, right?
Like,
Like that's so punk rock where here they are like again, big reunion album here and first time in a long time and they kind of defined a decade and then took a decade off. And I mean, is it a song about Primus?
I don't think so because I
either
mean
way, it's
they
a
they don't
fucking
make
top song contender, though. God damn.
it is. I
Yeah,
mean
it's
he's
a
like
great song. It's
I
a
would
juicy
argue
burger.
I would argue the fuck. Let's say Primus isn't making their fries extra crispy right now.
Right, 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 yeah, right. Yeah.
Um,
I
like
would buy the shit out of some Primus Flakes, though. Grab yourself a can of pork soda.
Like it's
Which apparently
again.
they're going to do for the next album. We're going to talk about that. But
So let's say quickly talk about Home Phone Demand. That's one. If you just listen to the music on the first listen through, you're not. I don't think you would fully understand it. Said it was when I that third listen through when I had the music video too. When they're doing the whole pimp type thing, it's like okay, yeah, they're playing it off as pimping, but it's not actually like regular pimping. It's no, it's the record industry having you sell out is really what it is.
that's a strong
Uh,
word with multiple meanings across multiple,
yeah,
professions and cultures. Yeah.
they cog in the machine or driving the
Hoeing for the
force.
man.
Yep. So, anyways, I need to really wrap this up because I feel like I've talked for forever here at this point. Extinction Burst. I enjoyed the vocals on that one, and I really liked the shifts going on. I thought it flowed wonderfully well into Salmon Men, which for me the title was mildly, I would say, almost misleading, just from the standpoint of we already had the last Salmon Man, and like the lyrics going on with Salmon
Oh,
Man
the
and
salmon
everything's
men
like,
will never die. Salmon men will never die.
yeah, but like
Much
we
like
already had,
Jedi. We've already had the last Jedi, and now there's a whole new thing of Jedi.
yeah, but like I don't, I wasn't sure about like this was the closing track that I would say lyrically I'm the most unsure about for sure,
I'm so glad,
and
Bill.
musically it's good, but it's not as great as the. I would almost say when I say not as great, I would put almost low point so far in the discography for a closing track.
I knew I was on an island.
I mean, Jason, I get what you're saying, but like
I'm
for me, it just it
glad.
doesn't have the
Who
same
has the
magical
closing
moment.
track on top songs?
Well, I mean, we'll just say Trey does.
No, that's already been pre-established.
Yeah, we already know who's closing this one out.
Oh
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so I mean, it's gonna be Trey, yeah,
Sure.
yeah, Trey, bring it on home.
Yeah, I already have the dots, motherfucker. You ain't getting my drunk ass. Well, Trey, what did you think of Green? Now, Naugahyde.
All right. So
Oh
pretty.
god,
I hate that word. Just hate it.
Naugahyde.
Naugahyde.
no god.
Naugahyde.
Oh, hi.
So I've found this discussion interesting because, for one, I feel the opposite of Tim and Jason. I actually think it trails off in the later half.
Interesting. Okay,
And I think this is one of Les's stronger vocal albums. To me, this was a
I can
lot
see that.
clearer.
Yeah.
So you just disagree with everybody, Trey, is what you're saying.
Apparently.
Fuck all y'all.
So Hennepin Crawler, my note is this about Minnesota, Bill? So
It's let's say it's Hennepin County to the T. Trust me.
yeah.
Yeah, whether it is or not, it fits.
This
Yeah.
album hooked me as far as wondering, like, I felt like these lyrics gave me more to think about than a lot of the other albums.
That's fair.
Like
Yeah.
Last Salmon Man, I loved it because to me the theme of it really cycled back to defy tradition, which is you've got to
Yeah.
be brave to defy tradition. So is he doing it because he wants to do it, or is he doing it because the fear of failing to keep his promise? Like, is he brave or is he scared? Why is he doing this? Like, I thought that was really interesting. Um, Eternal Consumption Engine. I love me some freaky ass carnival music. And other than shopping at Walmart, it feels a bit like a personal attack. uh, Tragedies a coming. I didn't watch the video for it, but I felt like 2012 election season. We're getting into that, and this is when both parties were putting up so many candidates, and I felt
Mhm.
like Tragedies a coming was each verse was a representation of one of those candidates. That's how I took it.
It's very
Um,
prolific.
Yeah, here we are.
And see,
The
that's this
result of
album made
them
me
fruits.
this album made me think, like Eyes of the Squirrel. I my first note is cool, but what does it mean? And then I'm like, it's talking about these things that humans allow to consume their lives. So is it squirrels just a representative of nature where you've got these
No, it's
animals?
we're the squirrels. It's the exact same discussion that people have about like how people's attention spans are lower because of the cell phone.
And see, I took it as like nature's watching us being driven crazy by completely meaningless dumb shit.
Well,
I felt
who's
it
to
more
say it's
like
not? Yeah.
an
Mm,
authoritative like Eyes of the Squirrel. Everyone, you're being watched.
yeah.
Like you're
I
doing all this shit and you're being judged and watched.
um Jilly's
It's a
on
deep
Smack.
song.
Bill left, but my note is Bill, have you watched Requiem for a Dream yet? Because that's what the song made me think of.
Well, we already know the answer to that.
It is fucking yeah. He already kind of answered it. It's depressing, but this whole
That is a good
album
call,
is.
though. That's a good call.
I mean, this and see because it's so dark. This is where it starts to dip for me is Lee Van Cleef because it kind of gets into the sillier side of Primus, which I hadn't heard yet on this album.
Oh,
It's not a bad song. It just didn't fit overall for me. More on TV, I thought it sounded like a dark ass police song. I loved it. Um,
that's fair.
Green Ranger. Hmm?
That's fair. Yeah.
Yeah, total fair.
Green Ranger kind of felt the same as Lee Van Cleef. Hoeing for the Man, it's I took this as not necessarily people selling out for um, companies, but companies using people as products.
I mean, that's all.
It's
Yeah,
just,
I
yeah.
mean,
Kind of the
it's
You're
same
not
thing.
wrong there.
yeah. I mean, it's a symbiotic relationship, but I feel like
Well,
he's
it's a
talking.
parasitic relationship.
Well, yeah.
uh,
I mean, they
well, it's a parasitic symbiosis, really, if we want to
Yeah,
narrow it
yeah,
down.
right. Exactly.
yeah
Yeah.
they're both using each other, but I felt like because he mentioned something about Charlie Sheen really got sold by Haynes on his ass or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Extinction Burst, I just love the instrumentals on it. Um, and the
Yeah.
Salmon Man, it's fine. I like the actual song a lot better. So for me, this album, I really liked it. It just dipped. For me, it dipped in the later half. So
That's weird because to me the A side was just kind of a slug to get through. There were highlights here and there, but like compared to like us sailing the seas of cheese, it was like ah. But then that second half is like some of the best Primus we've heard up to this point. So I
yeah,
struggle ranking this one.
yeah.
I mean, I would agree with that. This was one of the harder ones for me to figure out the ranking for.
Yeah. God, I got the dot too, don't I?
Oh, lucky you.
Lucky me. All right. Bill's gonna have it above the Brown album.
So far, so good. Color Code's
Oh,
gonna
he's gonna
tell
have it
all
above
of
Sail on the Seas of Cheese.
I think he's gonna have it above Tails.
correct.
Right there.
That would be correct right there. And Color Code's gonna tell a lot, and I'll add this caveat to keep viewers entertained here. When I get to my color code, I will explain in depth how I color coded these.
Okay. Well, we expect you. If you have anything more than two colors,
Stick
you better
around.
explain. All right, Trey.
Well, I've got a fucking rainbow when I finish this thing.
I think Trey's gonna have it in sixth. 7.
No, wrong direction.
Really?
It's not above pork soda though.
Yeah, that's
is
not
it?
above fucking pork soda.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
it's there.
Yeah, it
I
ain't
can
going.
see it,
It's
though.
not going above fucking Frizzle.
I mean, honestly, this one, this one really got me. If I didn't have those dips, it could. I was sitting there going, I'm going to end up having a hot take with this thing at number one. And then when I got to the later half of the album and it dipped, it was like, okay.
I mean, you're already hot taking it with the Brown album at number one.
And I'm
Yeah.
telling you, the first time I listened to the Brown album, I was like, this is fucking okay.
I mean, it's a fucking fantastic album. Color Code will tell all.
Yep.
Where the fuck
Color
did I
code
put
with
it?
explanation will tell even more.
Let me see where I put it.
Still got to justify himself.
I will absolutely justify. Hey, if I'm good at one thing, it's justifying myself.
I don't know. I'm still fucked up. I think Tim's gonna have it number 5.
That is correct.
See, I think because that whenever you did your mulligan, because that's
where it was.
That's
that is correct. Yeah,
because that's where
That's for the
I'm at.
mulligan.
That's where I'm at. Is like, does it beat Tails? I don't know. I'm torn between that.
and that is kind of the line. I mean, yeah, there's obviously a line it doesn't cross, but
Where's my
but it
notes?
pushes the line. It pushes the line.
It pushes that line. I can't find my final notes, but I edged it out above Tails because that second half is so strong.
Where Tails is kind of front end heavy.
Yeah,
There's some good stuff at the end, but it does kind of fall apart.
and I think both Tails and Andy Pop are like spotty. Like there's like really really good parts, and then parts are like eh. Whereas Green, it's like it's more condensed to where like I could put the B side on Green and just be like, let's fucking go, not have to worry about anything.
I can see that. I can see that.
All right, well, up next we have what the fuck is the name of this record called?
Willy Wonka and the
Primus and the
Candy
Chocolate Factory with the Fungi and Ensemble. So stick around for that. We are a playlist link channel. If you missed our previous rankings, click that link and you can watch them all in a row. And if you'd like to
And if
continue,
you don't know about this upcoming album, definitely stick around for it.
yeah, and then like and subscribe. You know this fucking soundtrack though. We'll get to it.
Everybody knows this.
If you didn't know, I mean, I understand you didn't see Requiem for a Dream, but you seen fucking Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
I've seen Willy Wonka, yeah. I've seen Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, too.
No, we're not talking Charlie and the goddamn Chocolate Factory. We're not talking.
I know
Tim
we're
Burton
not.
shit.
Trust me. Well aware. That's
Okay.
by far the inferior version, but that's a whole other 5 years.
I mean, that could be a fun episode, though, if we ever did soundtracks.
And if we ever did
That
an
would
album
be.
wars, that's a clear fucking winner right there.
Well, that's not even a fucking.
That's not even worth even talking about.
Fucking Gene Wilder exists. Anyways.
But what we're talking about is the Primus and the Chocolate Factory. So stick around for that. Give us a like, give us a subscribe. Really helps us out. Leave us a comment down below. That helps us out as well. We have a YouTube membership. Get you some free, or not free, but get you some emotes down below. Get you some benefits like coming on the show.
You get some free with purchase.
Yeah. Join our Discord. We post all of our, upcoming bands. We got some weird shit coming out later. You might want to join us.
A convo or 3.
Yeah. So, be safe and what, Trey?
Buy Haynes.
Ooh.
See, now you done made us part of the problem.
And then you go a little woo, and then a little whoop, 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 whoop. And then it's all, and then you're ready to go again. Y'all come back now, you hear?